The truth is, a lot of us struggle with anxiety. Anxiety is a frustrating and overwhelming emotion that sometimes can paralyze you. It can make it difficult to move forward. It can make it difficult to think straight. It can make it difficult to just do regular day-to-day activities. And I personally struggled with anxiety for years, and I still have moments where I have my setbacks, but I have a great strategy from which I want to share with you guys today that helps me to break free in that moment from my anxiety. So the way anxiety works is we're thinking of something. Sometimes we don't even know what our brain is thinking of, and we perseverate on this. We start to think of, oh no, this could happen. All of these things that could go wrong. And we become extremely worried and extremely overwhelmed. And when we become overwhelmed, our brain starts to think of the last time we felt anxiety and what happened to us then, or the last time we were worried and how that came true. And we stay in this cycle, and it's hard to get our brain off of that. And so the best thing you can do when you're feeling anxious is to focus on something that is true. In that very moment where you start to feel anxious, to really shift your brain and to focus on what is true. So the greatest thing about the activity that I'm going to share with you briefly is that you can take it and you can use it anywhere you go. I used it with students in the past. I use it with my daughter. I use it with myself, and I love it. So let's say that you're in the middle of a staff meeting and you're feeling extremely anxious. Maybe your coworker set you off. Maybe you're wondering if you forgot to turn off your stove that morning. Maybe you're worried about something that happened with your children. Whatever it may be, you're feeling anxious in that moment. And it's easy to start thinking of all the things that could go wrong and allow yourself to fall victim to worrywart syndrome, right? Where you're just worrying. Instead of doing that, focus on your environment. So what I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to ask you to do an activity with me right now. So you can close your eyes, and I want you to take a couple deep breaths. Just 3 deep breaths, nothing big. So in, out, in, out, in, out. Now I want you to open your eyes, and I want you to look around your environment. And I want you to point out 10 things that you see that are black. And you just look and take time to do that. You don't have to share them. You can kind of just keep them in your brain. And, as you process, you can point them out. You can say them out loud. That's okay too. Now I want you to point out 9 things that are white. So look around the area that you're in and point out 9 things that you notice that are white. Sometimes you might see a lot of things, like you might have a bunch of DVDs that all are white. Right? So sometimes you might see them right away. Now I want you to point out 8 things that are blue. As you're doing this, keep your breath normal. Awesome job. Now I want you to point out 7 things that are red. Again, keep breathing and look around your room. Sometimes you might have to be creative. Now I want you to point out 6 things that are green. Keep breathing as you're doing this. Good job. Now I want you to point out 5 yellow things. And when I say sometimes you may have to get creative because you don't see it, you could do something like look at your shirt, and I have more than 5 yellow things on my shirt, right? Now you're going to point out 4 things that are pink. Again, pink and red on my shirt, so I could become creative with that. If you don't see pink in your environment, you could pick another color. I want you to point out 3 things that are brown, 2 things that are orange, and 1 thing that is gray. Good job, guys. So what you'll notice is when you do this activity, you're instantly taking your focus off of the things that are causing anxiety and putting them on things that are true. The things in the room that you see by color are true. They're very real. And this is a grounding activity to ground you in reality and not allow you to take off with all of your worries, or to take off with all of your anxieties, or to take off with all of your fears. And so when you do this activity, sometimes you can do it and instantly you'll notice that you'll start breathing more regularly. You'll feel better. Sometimes you need to do the activity more than once, and that's okay. You can also alter or adjust the activity. Maybe you start off with 5 and work your way down to 1, or maybe you change the colors based on the environment that you're in. The point of the activity is to ground yourself into reality and to allow yourself to breathe more regularly and not to be consumed in your worry or overwhelm. So I want you to try this activity. Let me know below how it goes. And I will chat with you guys later. Bye.